A first carry for a Miami native. This is Dalvin Cook. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down now, it's Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Third down. Here's Haskins. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On first down, Stafford here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Stafford. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Haskins. And his throw is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Haskins to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. He finds his target, Terrence Williams.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They start the drive. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On 2nd and 15 now. Haskins. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards in the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Collins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
53. Check 53. We don't want this. Mike, 53.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have, and think back.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. Johnson, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game, are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, Collins. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Double right.
They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. From the 50, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Wasn't it fun in pregame standing downstairs and watching Matthew Stafford throw the football? I mean, that bad boy just whistled.
He can just rock it.
It just whistled by us, didn't it? But what is the one knock on him? Accuracy.
Yeah.
And that's what we just saw there, an incompletion on that throw downfield.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop them with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Flushed out right, and that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Now Haskins on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Another try after the first down sack. Haskins, and he's going to go down again. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Haskins, third and long. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half. It's Haskins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford, and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 14 on that one, and a first down. Stafford now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%. But he does have a 1st and 10. Escaping. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Rodney Gunter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. To try again after the sack. Stafford. He's airing it out for Williams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. He's got his tight end Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. Johnson was the intended receiver. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They'll run on first down. Collins. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Stafford. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Every now and then, those guys can get lost in coverage. Quarterback didn't see him, perhaps. But, boy, what a pick. And how about the run back?
Back now in Miami, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. That'll bring up 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Here's Stafford. Herndon's got it complete. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Got his man, it's Eifert. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Haskins. Able to shake him off. And the pressure gets to him again. Clay Matthews. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Denver. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. On first, they go right back to Collins. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Ready? 180. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Back to throw.
Let's bring it.
And Eifert has it. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Collins. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. It's Williams on the catch. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Hey, dude. Check right 54. Right 54. Hey, man.
They snap it to Stafford. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Now it's Haskins. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Now Haskins. Going up top. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Haskins going to try to throw it. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the interception, here's Stafford. Now a desperation throw. And got his man complete. Terrence Williams, 20. And he is across and in for the score. And now they they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for two and go for the win. The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They got a chance to take the lead.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right? I agree with you on that one. Risk reward. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They just likely won this thing in regulation. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. We'll go again.